charge to have a look.
I told the guild about Nicholas betraying us. Walked softly took it in stride. Quen gave me a hug, and Elsa walked off without a word. All in all, better than expected. The Iron Wheel is a hurricane that blew into port and smashed everything in its path. Nicholas and Kosh are the ones who set it in motion. Now, we learn what they hold most dear. Then, we take it from them. Nicholas taught me how to be a thief. I knew him for over a decade. Trusted him. Not much else to say, is there? What about? Velsa was right, and I don't say that lightly. I am responsible. Edda and Dalder died because of my mistake. Nicholas. I can only pray his death is far worse than what happened to the others. No. He seemed a bit distant before we first went to Aldenobia Tomb, but it was also the biggest heist we'd ever pulled off. Nothing prepared me for this.
Good, you're here! The old book we found at Sulima Mansion was the key to my father's cipher. His ledger revealed directions to his greatest treasure. It won't bring him back, but if we find it, Abar's Landing will no longer have a hold on me. I don't know. I don't think so. I've enjoyed my time with the Thieves Guild, even Velsa. And Lady Sulima is a stepmother I never knew. I wouldn't have figured out the cipher without her help. We deciphered the ledger together. I'd call out a number, she'd find the letter in the book. It was fun. She's so lonely, cooped up in her mansion. She only has mercenaries to keep her company. I know exactly where it is. Here, I'll mark your map. We've been in this together since all this madness began. I can't imagine recovering my inheritance without you at my side. Meet you there when you're ready, partner. Let's go find some treasure.
Greetings.
Wait, did you hear that? I recognize them from Sulima Mansion. Why are they digging?
Healer!
Sulima's mercenaries. What were they doing here?
Gwen, you weren't supposed to be here.
Lady Sulima?
This is all wrong. They weren't supposed to hurt anyone.
Wait! Get back here! Oh, I can barely stand to look at her.
Please, I never meant to harm anyone. The mercenaries who protect my home, they overheard Gwen and I speak of treasure. I promised them a share, and the rest I planned to give to Gwen. You must believe me. It was the only way to provide their salary. The Iron Wheel never set foot in my home, yet everything of value has gone to keeping them at bay. None of my fortune remains. It is no excuse. I told myself, Seraldo would want you to have a small portion of his treasure, but he already gave me years of his life that he could not provide to Gwen. I was foolish. Please, forgive me.
Living with fear, you lie, you steal, you worry if the ones you love can accept what you've become. Of course I forgive you, Lady Sulima.
Oh, my dear child. I don't deserve your forgiveness.
Hush now. I'll bring you to a place where you'll be safe. It's where I live, and where you will too.
I did not expect such mercy.
My father died to protect Lady Sulima from the Iron Wheel. If it was his last wish, I should honor it. I'll give her my bunk. Honestly, I prefer hammocks. Lady Sulima won't have the luxuries of her manor, but she'll be safe in the den, as my father would have wanted. I'm glad you're a part of this. The choice wasn't easy, but it feels like we made the right one. I don't know. Perhaps I'll open the strongbox at my rooftop retreat. Somewhere comfortable and beautiful. You're welcome to stop by and see for yourself.
You've made a big mistake this time, you lizard! My agents will find me, and then I'll have your hide for a handbag!
It took some time, but I finally figured out the best way to teach Anais a lesson. I promise this will make perfect sense to you shortly, my friend. Trust me, stay calm a moment longer, and all will become clear. My associate has returned with the reply from your mansion. Would you like to hear it?
Ransom? Is that your plan? My steward is under strict orders not to negotiate with kidnappers.
He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that's preposterous. She's not worth half that much.
That old goat! With me out of the way, he's probably hoping to take over the business. Have you contacted my mother?
She's in Rothgar this time of year, isn't she? Discussing trade agreements. We don't have time to reach out to her.
Untie me and we can forget all about this, Walks. For old time's sake? Are you listening to me?
Thanks for your patience with all of that. I hope I sounded convincing. Anais needs to see the errors of her ways. People aren't property. They aren't supposed to be sold and traded, and they certainly shouldn't be turned into slaves. There was no request for a ransom. I made that all up to scare her. No one even knows she's missing yet, and I'd like to keep it that way. Take these letters. I don't want her family's agents to come looking for her yet, so I forged them to explain her absence. Just plant them in the Velmont mansion, and that will give me all the time I need. Time for Anais to consider her situation, to see if being trapped and powerless changes her outlook on keeping pets and slaves. When she's learned her lesson, I'll set her free. Meet me at the thieves' den after you plant the letters.
So much to do, so little time.
So much to do. So much to do.
Busy, busy, busy.
If you wanted a bounty on your head, you got it, trespasser.
Did Zira speak with you about the wedding? Kosh returned Magnifica Falora's dowry. Seems she's agreed to marry him to bind the futures of Tanith and Abaz Landing. How romantic. Our old guildmaster is behind all this. Zira wants Nicholas to pay for his betrayal. Find Zira in the den, and hurry. The wedding is very soon. My theory? Nicholas gives Kosh the stolen dowry. Kosh returns it to Chief Inspector Ron Beek. With the dowry recovered, the Iron Wheel departs. This gives Kosh great influence with the merchant lords, the same ones who buy from all the pirates raiding Tanith. Kosh becomes her puppet. He keeps the Abaz Landing merchant lords in line. This removes a threat to Tanith, which elevates her among her peers. Better yet, she gets to marry and keep her own dowry. She gains money and influence. How about that? Kosh pays him a large sum of money for the dowry. He heads somewhere remote, retires like Velsa did, spends his fortune on all those paintings he loved to acquire. Unless one of us finds him and feeds him his own liver. I'd do it if Zira asked. My theory? Nicholas gives Kosh the stolen dowry. Kosh returns it to Chief Inspector Ron Beek. With the dowry recovered, the Iron Wheel departs. This gives Kosh Kosh becomes her puppet. He keeps the Abaz Landing merchant lords in line. This removes a threat to Tanith, which elevates her among her peers. I read. Hammerfell politics are fascinating. You ask me, nobles are thieves who pick the pockets of nations.
Hail.
I wasn't a part of the guild for very long, before everything went to oblivion in an ore cart, and I was forced to hide from the Iron Wheel. Trust me, once I'm in charge, we'll never have to run or hide again.
I'm not half as good at alchemy as Velsa, but I'm better than anyone else you've ever met. I don't know why people don't like her. Sure, she's abrasive, but so are most of the chemicals I work with. It's brilliant, that's what it is. I joined the guild because of Velsa, you know. Hoped to learn whatever she was willing to teach me, but every time I asked a question, she threatened to defoliate my head. I'm glad she's back, though. Well, she's no legend like Nicholas was. But then again, nobody is. We all miss him terribly. Zira, on the other hand, she's one of us. She isn't afraid to get her hands dirty. I appreciate that in my guildmaster. Funny you should ask about that. I just finished building a device to help Brucus get into his uncle's vault. I hope he heeds my advice and stands well clear of the door after he sets it. I may have been a bit heavy with the kindle pitch.
Glad to see Zira has been keeping the guild on track. I'm still worried about the Iron Wheel, but we can weather that storm if we keep our heads low for just a little while. I was biding my time, determining how best to perform my duties in the face of overwhelming odds. But as soon as I got the word that Zira was reforming the guild, I was back here in 2 shakes of a horker's tail. Thrag did an admirable job in my absence. Now that I'm back, he will return to his role as my second in such matters. I know that will irritate the tusk out of him, but it can't be helped. I'm Thrag's superior in every way, and he knows it. Thrag chose well when he brought Gazana into the guild. She's more than capable, and I'm sure she will serve us well. And she's very pleasant to look at. Knowing Thrag, that was the first thing that crossed his mind when he recruited her. The Iron Wheel? Facing those sharp tusks head-on would be as suicidal as chubloons charging a snow bear. We will weather this storm. The guild was around before the Iron Wheel, and will still be around after they're long gone. Come, do your trading here.
Down on my luck. Help me out?
Anais, I'm so glad we found you. And all in one piece, too.
No thanks to you. You left me tied up on the docks. What did you think was going to happen? I demand you escort me home. Immediately.
Right. Of course. I just need a moment to confer with my associate.
Of course you do. Just let me know when you're ready to get me out of here. These pirates have no appreciation of soap and water. You're Walk Softly's idiot associate. Don't think I haven't memorized your face.
On the one hand, I'm grateful that Anais doesn't appear any worse for the wear. On the other hand, I hope to see some evidence by now that she'd learned her lesson. Yes, rescue her. Yes, I never wanted to become a slave merchant. But if we set her free, won't she just continue with her awful ways? I hate to admit it, but I'm at a loss as to how to proceed. I see your point, but one can learn about murder without being murdered. Until the pirates ransom her back to her family, they'll treat her the way she treats Pimsy. What does that matter? Should I determine my actions based on the inclinations of a slave-keeping, self-centered aristocrat? What should I do? I just want to return to the den, put this awful business behind us. I'm going to leave you here, Anais. It's the only way to teach you a lesson about the difference between people and property.
You're really going to let him do this to me? Leave me here like some sort of servant for a gang of disgusting pirates? I won't be trapped here forever. I'll get away, and then I'll find you and make you pay for this. Oh, you are going to pay.
I know these pirates. They'll ask for a ransom, receive their gold, and Anais will be home before the week's end. With any luck, that will be more than enough time to show her what the life of a slave is really like. I'll see you back at the den. I heard that the pirates demanded a large ransom for Anais. Her family hesitates, but I'm sure they'll turn over the gold before another day goes by. This lesson couldn't have gone any better. Of course, just as you suggested. And the forged letters you planted worked perfectly. Pimsy is free. I'll help him start his new life as a free Argonian.